Very good morning. Another canal video today. So I'm on the Chesterfield Canal. Surprise, surprise. I seem to spend a lot of time on the Chesterfield Canal. They're going to start charging me council tax. But we're not walking along the Chesterfield Canal per se. We're coming to look at a slightly different angle. So I'm coming to have a look at something called the Brancliffe Feeder. So let's have a look at some old maps which I think best demonstrate the route of the feeder. So the Brancliffe Feeder takes its water from the River Ryton in Moses Seats Wood near Lindrick Dale. On this next map, after leaving Moses Seat Wood, the water then follows a meandering course through agricultural fields and the tiny farming community of Brancliffe Grange. It then runs parallel to the canal for a short while and empties into the canal just below Feeder Lock to the east of Turnerwood. And we can see from this wider map, this is the full course of the feeder there, with the wood at the top and the canal at the bottom. I can't find anywhere that officially gives the distance of the feeder, but I think from looking at the maps it's around 1 mile long. So we'll try to follow the feeder as best we can, where it's permissible. So hopefully we'll be able to get as close to the source of the feeder on the River Ryton as close as we can. So I'll point out some of the interesting things that we'll see along the route as well. So that's Boundary Lock, and just going over the aqueduct. Now we understand this is the border between Nottinghamshire and South Yorkshire. It's the River Ryton down there. We're going to be seeing a bit more of that river in a little while. So we're now in South Yorkshire. And can I be controversial and say the best county, obviously. We're just approaching Feeder Lock number 38. Yeah. A little bridge just crossing over. And that what we can see there, that is where the Brancliffe Feeder runs into the canal. So quite a current on that, isn't there? So I've just hopped across the top of the lock. Just come down to the other side just to get another angle. So nothing spectacular. You'd probably walk past that and not even realise. But we're gonna keep following it just up the canal. It runs alongside of the canal for a short distance. So I can still see the feeder right next to the path here. So it is, obviously it's a man-made watercourse. That's it. I know there are some of the volunteers that work on the canal and people who work for the Canal and River Trust. They do spend time clearing this out just so it keeps its water flow going. But you'll notice it's actually below the canal now because we've come up Feeder Lock. And as you will guess, I mean, I don't need to tell you this, it's gravity fed. So it's taking water from the river, basically, to make sure that the canal east of here, going down through Worksop and Retford, just to ensure that that stays at the correct level of water. Some steps down to it here. Didn't need to scramble down the bank in there. So we've got some kind of unit there, some kind of control box is that. And water height marker as well. The only thing about walking down here, there are all these locks and all this. It's makes me want to go to the toilet every 10 minutes. So it looks like there's been a bit of work done on this lock. Turnerwood. So it's Turnerwood top lock number 36. I do love Turnerwood. Such a pretty little spot. So still got the feeder. It's on the right hand side there. Can't really get to it from up here. It's gone behind these gardens. So here's another little map to show you. So we can see the canal feeder. It doesn't show the full length of the feeder though, but we can see where we're just walking along those locks there, just at the side of the feeder before it turns off. Such a lovely little spot with all the flights of locks that we've got in this location. I always think that this is one of the prettiest parts of the Chesterfield Canal. And it always makes me wonder how nice the Norwood locks would look if they were open and working. Hopefully one day in the future we might get to see that. Didn't actually know it before just now, but we're actually going to be walking on some of the Rotherham Ring Route as well. So we're leaving behind the canal now. We've just ventured off in the northwards direction, so just picked up that feeder again now. So we've got a railway line to negotiate now. So we can see the feeder. It's going off into a little culvert there. Trying to get a bit closer. It's a bit steep and slippery though, this bank. I think that's as far as I'm going to get. I wanted to see if I could see through it, but anyway, we get the pleasure of walking over the railway line. So this is the works up to Sheffield line. Just over this stile. I believe, if memory serves me correctly, this used to be part of the old Great Central Railway. So let me get across because I don't want to be lurking on here. And just there, if you can see the points, it's going off. So that's the old South Yorkshire joint line, goes up to Doncaster. Now it's funny how all my videos link together because we was on that line up in Doncaster Potterick Car on last week's video. So that's that little culvert just coming out the other side. Another really dark day today. I had to get up. I had to set my alarm this morning for 8 o'clock. Yeah, that doesn't sound really, does it? But I'm just coming off nights. So yeah, I set my alarm. It went off this morning. Still pitch black. It was like my alarm was going off at midnight. I thought someone was winding me up for a minute. So this was a bit of an unplanned walk, really. I was booked to have my COVID booster in Worksop this morning. So I thought while I'm out doing that, I just had a look around just to see what I could find in and around where I was going. So that's why I'm here. Just a bit of a short video before the side effects start to kick in. So the good news is, for all the conspiracy theorists, I've not had any satellites start following me yet, and my phone reception's pretty good. So we've got a good stretch. This here, it's quite wide here. It's probably as wide, ironically, as some parts of the Chesterfield Canal. Another little culvert down there. Getting a bit of wet foot. Walking in the wet grass. These trail shoes have done quite a bit of mileage. I think they're starting to fail a bit now. Got a bit of a junction here. Just goes behind this tree. Comes back out there. We're just coming up to Brancliffe Farm now. Disappears under another bridge. So that's where we're heading. That's interestingly named Moses Seats Wood. So from here it goes past the farm. We lose it for a while. We can't walk alongside it, I don't believe, but we can pick it up just as it enters the woods over there. So I think the footpath takes quite a bit more direct route than the feeder. So I was saying about it being dark. It's actually the winter solstice today, so positive thinking. We start to get a little bit longer days and lighter nights now, so I mean it's plenty more playing out time. So we're going to lose the feeder for a while underneath that cute little bridge there. So that's going under the farm there, you can see it the other side. We're taking a left turn now straight up to these woods. So coming into Moses Seats Wood now, and this is technically just south Lindrick Dale. So you can see the A57 in the distance. Works up to Sheffield Road. So we're heading downhill again now. So I would expect the feeder and the river just to be the other side of this banking. Back on the feeder. Back on the feeder now. Careful. I don't want to be in the feeder. I can hear the river just literally just in those trees. So I'm just walking alongside the feeder. It looks like there is a kind of well-trodden path down here, and we've got the river now. So I'm right just on the bank in between the two. So I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of well, it won't be long before the two merge. So I think we're coming up to where the two meet. I'm guessing there's going to be some kind of sluice here as well, just so they can actually control water coming into here. So this is it. Oh, and there's the sluice. So we'll walk over here. Got a little weir here on the river. I was just trying to work it out in my head, so it's quite obvious that the river has had to drop quite significantly more than the feeder between here and the canal, because just before the feeder joins the Chesterfield Canal, obviously which is below where we are now, the River Ryton goes underneath the canal on an aqueduct, so by the time we get to the canal, the river's actually lower than the feeder. So I'm guessing we've got a few more of those weirs between here and the boundary aqueduct. And that's it. I'll head back down towards Shireoaks now. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I mean, I love walking down canals, but what I've found over the last year is I've been doing those canal walks. I've been finding the little bits that go on behind the scenes on the canal even more interesting, like the little disused arms that I've been doing. And I do actually, while I remember, I do need to go out and look at the Lady Lee again. Now it's winter and that vegetation's died off a bit, so keep an eye out for that one in the next month or two. So yeah, that's the Brancliffe feeder. So next time you're walking down the canal, Chesterfield Canal, between Shireoaks and Kiverton Park, that's where you get to Turnerwood. Just keep an eye out. And this is where that little watercourse comes from. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you again soon on another video.